people think that women are making the hijab an issue. We didn't actually. It was the Islamists who did that. Hijab, first of all, when you talk about the history of hijab, it seems as if you don't wear it, you're westernized, which is a completely erroneous view. The first woman who unveiled in Iran didn't know anything about the West. She was the leader of a new religion in Iran, the Babi, who later changed to Baha'is, the Baha'i religion. She was a poet, and one of the progressive things that the Baha'is and the Babis had was in regards to women and their women's freedoms. One day she comes among her followers, she takes off her veil, and she says, the universal advent has come. And she becomes so dangerous to the system that they first put her under house arrest. She was very popular. They couldn't just go and jail her and kill her. And later at night, they take her to a garden, they strangle her, and they throw her down a well. They didn't want people to find out where her grave was because they didn't want them to turn it into a shrine. Her name was Tahireh. Now, we have these women in our own history. We don't need to go to Susan Cady Stanton, or although we should, in the same way that you should learn from us, we should learn from you. So I'm not ashamed of going to Susan Cady Stanton. Actually, I do all the time. But this is not a Western product. This is the product of a political and social and cultural crisis, part of which was women wanting more spaces. That is how it started. And the issue of veil became, again, controversial because Reza Shah, the late Shah's father, for a short time made the unveiling mandatory, which didn't really work. And I mentioned that in my book, that when I was objecting to the veil, I said my grandmother did not leave the house for 3 months because of the mandatory unveiling. I would not leave the house because of the mandatory veiling. My point about the veil was that this is not about religion. This is about choice. Women should have the choice to relate to their religion any way they want. The state cannot tell you how to be a good Muslim, nor can the state tell a Christian or a Jewish or a secular Muslim or an atheist how to dress. Why should a Christian or a Jewish or an atheist dress the way an Orthodox Muslim woman dresses? That is why I talk about the veil. If we go into the philosophy of it, and I think that the debate is constantly being suppressed because it's become so politicized. If we go into the philosophy of it, I have a lot against it. I have a lot against the fact that my body becomes a source of mainly temptation, and that I have to cover that in order to prevent these horrible men who look at me and can't control themselves. In order to protect them, I have to cover myself. That is a problem for me. Philosophically, ideologically, it's a problem. But I would never tell a woman, or I would never condone a system that would tell a woman who genuinely chooses the veil without the interference of the family society because of her faith. You can't argue with people's faith if it doesn't hurt you. You have to let them do what they want. Orthodox Christian women are very, quote unquote, modest in the way they dress. Orthodox Jewish women wear wigs, I can't tell those women not to. I can't tell Muslim women not to. But to make it compulsory and to say that I am westernized and an agent of imperialism because of the way I look, and Faizeh Rafsanjani is the genuine, authentic Iranian, that is what is at issue. My family has a known history of over 600 years in that country. Who can say that I'm less Iranian than she is? That is what is at issue. And they muddy the waters, the way they talk.